Do science and religion work together or does it challenge each other? Now, keep in mind that when we have a variety of field of study, regardless if you study the environment, regardless if you're studying structures and physical things, or if you're studying the body as an organic machine, or if you are studying beliefs, spiritual awareness, these are all different fields of study. And if you go to a university, for example, each of the fields of study have their own different departments. And the reason for that is that some people love studying the physical world, some people love studying the biological world, and some people prefer to study either what people are thinking, what humans are thinking, philosophy, or religion and spirituality. So, my belief on this one is that science and religion can work together. And the whole idea here is that we are all part of the same planet, but we have many beliefs. And I believe that the beliefs are not there to compete with each other, but so that we can learn about different perspective. So I know that there are different religion here on this planet. And the question here is, do we have the vocabulary and the capacity to talk with each other and respect that different beliefs is important so that we can better understand otherwise. So, for example, I know that I have at home here a Bible. That is very true. But I've had a neighbor a few years back that gave me a Quran as well. And the reason for that is that we have a chance to see different religion with different documents and different perspective. And therefore, you can learn for both. Another example I have as a geologist, I know that I used to study rocks and rock formations, bedrock of the planet, so that I could look at higher, I was looking for higher concentration of certain metals. So we could have a mine, either for nickel, for gold, for copper, and so on. So this was working on the environment, looking for metals. But I do also remember that I had friends working in areas where they were working with First Nations or Inus on in the northern part of Canada. And what happens is that they work with them, but there are two people working together. So first of all, my friends were geologists. They were looking for minerals, but they also had the First Nation that could help them because in some ways many of them knew about different minerals because they used some of the rocks for sculpture, for example, or for different tools. That's an example. I had friends working with um, in environmental science, where they came in with their tools with respect to studying the environment, but they were working with First Nation too, because through their stories, through their understanding of their world and also their spiritual world, it's much more connected. And they had a better understanding on life cycles, for example. In science, we often talk about, let's say, physical characteristic and physical properties of our nature. We have quantitative data, but we also have qualitative data. So that means that stories and equipment can work together to better understand the environment. Now, when we think of religion and spirituality, we have a situation where we have several people together to have a better understanding of people's beliefs. Is it something that it's simple? It's very far from that. But the more we can communicate, the more we can communicate together, then we can have a better understanding. So here we need to talk about with the same language, about the same ideas, not to judge each other, but to better understand each other. And that works for that works here with religion, that works with politics, and that work with science. Now, keeping in mind that sometimes religions include beliefs, and sometimes beliefs and scientific information, sometimes they may compete with respect to understanding something specific. And then again, I do believe personally that it's a matter of communicating and seeing, okay, what can we learn from both sides of the situation so that as humans, we can become better people and having a more understanding community. So that's my perspective on science and religion. And hopefully that is answering your question. I'm sure you have your belief on this. You may know people with beliefs that are similar or different. The same way that in my life, I have people with similar beliefs than I, but also different beliefs. It's part of communicating and understanding our reality. So thank you very much for your questions, and I've appreciated answering this one. So thank you very much, Sunera, for your question.